All right, let's talk about a couple more just recent issues that we've seen for current investors filing.
Yeah, so as again, as we get closer and closer to a backlog, I think a tendency is to rush things or freak out when you see something that isn't exactly the way it should be in this process. And any immigration attorney will tell you that USCIS drives all of us crazy. It doesn't always happen the way you want it to, but having that experience of knowing that things can go wrong and still end up ultimately okay is really important. Account tracking and notice issues has probably been the number one issue that we've seen over the last year or so with EB5. This is not necessarily a problem, but just leads to anxiety. And again, having an attorney that can just basically tell you that and then just remind you that, hey, look, the only thing we can really do here is continue to log into our USCIS account, reach out to USCIS, somewhat frequently, and try to get this resolved is the only thing that you can do. So working with an attorney that's familiar with that, understanding that it's not necessarily a problem, but something that they can be proactive about is key. And then the second thing here is, we've seen a lot of investors start to push their attorneys sometimes. And there's definitely a reasonable amount of time that it could take to do an EB5 case. And I think finding that balance can be very tough. Um, One of the things that I think people really put attorneys into a bad situation sometimes, and this is maybe not on the attorney themselves, but sometimes on the clients, is not gathering the documents early enough, right? We're approaching a deadline. Let's say a visa bulletin retrogression hits on the 14th of a month. Well, you've only got to the end of the month to file, and you realize that you haven't given your attorney any documents, and now they have to review, along with all the other clients that are, I'm sure, rushing to do the exact same. So really just getting that done ahead of time as quickly as possible is a huge step in this process to avoid backlogs and retrogressions and kind of untimely filings or careless mistakes in those filings as you rush through to get something filed.